When writing a story, do you think it's important to write the story around a transmedia like structure, or to extend it to transmedia after you have already developed the story?
So when you're developing stories, I think you have to understand that you have to execute this single story by itself, no matter what other transmedia idea that you have. I think the tendency can be, I get so focused on all the stories that I don't execute any individual story the right way, and that's a mistake, because you have to understand, if your movie isn't good, if your script isn't good, nothing works. If your TV pilot isn't good, nothing works. Now, what I would say is I'm a fan of developing the transmedia plan first, and understanding how all the stories interplay, and understanding your story world, and understanding where the opportunities are. And then once you have that sort of structure and that architecture in play, and you understand what part of the puzzle this individual story is, then what you do is just then set that aside. You set all that aside, and then you just got to dive in and make sure you write an awesome script and an awesome pilot, and execute that thing. But when you're writing it, you will naturally be building in new opportunities. Because you'll understand how this interplays with the other stories. You understand more about your story world, and naturally you're going to start lacing things in that if you hadn't done that work first, you wouldn't have. Which means then, if you do all the transmedia opportunities after the fact, then one or two things going to happen. Is you're probably going to say, "Oh, I need to go rewrite my script to be able to accommodate for all these things," but then it may not feel natural or organic. Or you're going to say, I'm just going to leave it as it is, and then it feels disconnected, and you're not going to get the experience that you want. So it's a balance. Is if you don't develop it as you're writing, I think you develop the plan, the broad plan from an IP perspective. This is my roadmap. If I'm going to drive from LA to New York, and I'm going to look at the map, and I see my route that I'm going to take. And this is the broad route that I'm going to take, right? And I map that, and I understand where I'm going, and I understand how to get there. But eventually, I need to get in the car, and I'm not going to be like staring at the map the entire time I'm in the car. I'm in the car, and I'll make minor adjustments as I'm in the car. I'll get off of certain rest stops. I'll maybe take a different road here or there, but I still already understand the direction that I'm going. The problem is, I think most people like jump in the car and they don't even have a destination, right? They say, I'm just going to drive. That ends up being more work on the back end. Me personally, I hate to rewrite. I hate rewriting. I think all writers hate rewriting. And so I want to minimize my rewriting process as much as possible, which means then I think you just build an IP design, set that aside, and then go. And I think that the balance of that is sometimes tricky, and you kind of learn your way, but I think that's the best way forward.